स्वयं में धारण कर सदा सफलता की सितारे बनो। समझा क्या बोलना? लकी और लॉली के साथ सफलता श्रेष्ठता सदा अनुभव करते रहो।
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vyakti Parivar. Today is day 25th. Pilgrimage of Silence. Silence gives birth to special abilities. Now listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. It's a wonderful Vyakti Parivar, right? You think there will be any such Parivar, family in the world, where they meet every evening to share God's love, to share God's wisdom, have sharing of reflections and God's love. So, isn't it amazing, wonderful family? Definitely it's God's family, but also family of Baba's children, and Baba saying Brahmins, so angels, an angel to deities, those who have that thought. So I must say congratulations to the family that you all come together every evening. And we collectively make efforts. We take a theme, we try to understand that theme, then we try to practice it. And as soon as we start practicing, then we know exactly what's the definition of what our theme is. Like before, we will use word silence, and some of, in Madhuban too, they use this little button saying silence, not speaking today. So that's okay. But when you are really on this pilgrimage of silence, then you know what exactly silence means, where to use it, how to use it. It's not only few hours of silence or some do bhatti of silence, but how I introduce silence in my life in such a that, let's say we use the word full stop drama, but thoughts still keep coming. So then I say, no, I have to use pilgrimage of silence. I have to be in silence. And more you start practicing, there are beautiful experiences, but also there are a lot of challenges in doing that. But that's what happens when you swim in ocean. That's how you know how to swim through go across the waves of the ocean. But generally, I sit there and I'm watching all these waves of ocean on the beach and having good time. But I don't know what to go in the waves and how to come out when there are big waves, or even to go further and deeper in the ocean. So same is, I think, efforts or even the silence that we used to hear, very beautiful, very useful. Yes, I must do it. And some start doing few hours of silence, silence bhatti, very popular. But when you do it in day-to-day life, how to remain in one type of awareness for a while. That's why I take this one point of uh, for homework is to maintain that awareness when I am not in actions and yoga, but also during day when I am in actions. Keep reminding myself of that awareness. So it becomes like whole day homework. And then by the evening, we know how long I could really stay in that awareness. And that is for us kind of pilgrimage of silence. Like today, when I start with above and beyond, beyond and above. So I thought, no, it should be above first, then beyond. If anything is happening, if I go up, hmm, above, when I go above and I see that situation, it's not very big. No, Baba says flying degrees, see everything beyond when you go above. Like Baba gives the example that from the flight, when you look at the houses, they look like little matchstick boxes, very tiny, and then they disappear after some time. So that is what it was, flying to subtle regions. So first is really going above, and then you pass. That is, go beyond that. So when I start practicing, in practice, you really find, as I said, that it's challenging because to completely go beyond and then to see everything as something very small, that is where really you are able to, save some of the thoughts. It's so little matter and how much I'm thinking about it. Yes, we need to think, but how many time, how much? Maybe I use silence. So through silence, things can become more clear. Maybe we find some solution. Maybe some souls will be touched to cooperate in silence. That could happen, not through my thoughts only. And I like when Baba says that if you have this whole practice of silence, even silence of intellect, then what takes you 4 hours will take only 1 hour because your intellect is very clear but also powerful. Because when there is a thought and thought has power, it get resolved and also it get accomplished. So I start seeing silence more as going beyond, going above, and see the situation, scene of drama. And actually, it's not a big situation, but we keep thinking about it and we keep planning about it. Yes, it is true that we are the ones who will have to think and plan, but we do. Uh, if I have, accumulated power of silence, then I will think, but I won't need to think that much because every thought will come true. So, how do I use this power of silence in going above and beyond? It's very interesting, as I said, and it can be applied whole day. It can be applied when we are planning something. And also see where I can save some of my thoughts. Silence is really about saving some energy of thinking. And that means I'm accumulating power. If I'm using 100 thoughts, 200 thoughts, and I need only to use 10 thoughts. So all that power which I was using in overthinking about something, that is saved, and that becomes my power of silence. So what I find every day when I am applying and taking this awareness and homework, it's becoming like really what it is. And then not only understanding through intellect what really it means, what Baba wants us when he says power of silence. So what I'm saying that it's only when we do it, then the clarity, reflections, depth, clear understanding, and also practice. So that's why I like to take this homework and which we're doing it, and then by the evening we know what's the percentage. But we are happy because there is more clarity. There's definitely some more efforts. There is some more accumulation of power. Some souls were saying that how they realize every day that when they're listening, they're taking homework, they're doing homework, they could see so much change, closeness to Baba. Someone said, even understanding morely, and deep, deep interest in reading Murli, listening to Murli. So they see a lot of changes in them, a lot of realizations. So what I feel that by doing it, we know more. And when we know more, it becomes easier, we do more. Right? Because such a teacher, every morning, God teaches and guides us. Baba's teachings actually are like directions of what we have to do whole day. But then for us to use every point, keep reminding ourselves what Baba said this morning. Sometimes we forget within 1 hour. Sometimes we look back again. Let's see what was the blessing today. But if I want to change blessing and the knowledge into my awareness, I have to keep reminding myself, right? Today's blessing was this. Today's homework is this. So that we have to continuously keep doing it. So I really like that all of us together have this aim and we are keep making efforts. And of course, when we are in gathering as a family, Baba's attention, Baba's presence is always there. So we have to continue together for another few days on this pilgrimage of silence. So let's see what thought we take for so today was Brahmin, remember, becoming angel. An angel really is like when you are heavy with something, doing or any situation. Just be very light. Either surrendering to Baba or saying a drama, change will happen, things will be better, drama is beneficial. So giving oneself some points and become double light and then fly. And when you fly, that is where you have stage of being an angel. So very, very interesting homework is this exercise which we do whole day to keep ourselves light, right? So do you experience yourself to be an elevated soul who constantly experiences progress by using the method? Do you experience yourself to be an elevated soul who constantly experiences progress by using the method? And the method is determination is the key to success. Determination is the key to success. So by using the speciality of determination, you easily experience success and you become a special soul. So when you become a special soul for any task, when you become a special soul for any task, you automatically receive everyone's blessing. No one gives blessings in a physical way. No one gives blessings in a physical way, but this is very subtle, through which the soul is filled with power. Very interesting, right? And you easily experience success in your self progress. So constantly continue to move forward with the awareness that you are an elevated soul who attains success with the greatness of determination, who receives blessings from everyone. And Baba says, when you are receiving the blessings, they are in subtle form. You are gaining power. And that helps you to move forward. So it's not someone has to verbally give you blessing, but it's very subtle. When you do something special, Baba said you get blessings. So tomorrow, I am a elevated soul and do special to get blessings. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So today is Saturday, we'll be having our chit chat. So before we start our chit chat, let's get our homework. And for that, I would like to invite our angel, Sister Elizabeth. Welcome.
Thank you, Bhumika Ben. I'm really excited with the correlation with the karma class or the points of homework to broaden our minds in karma and how it matches up with the subtle work that we're doing in our homework. And so today Baba is saying, have that determination and you'll receive blessings. And then our homework today, these two abilities that Baba wants us to focus on is discern and decide. So there are 3 Ds: determination, discern, and decide. So let's look at the homework. Silence gives birth to special abilities. In silence, I, the soul, become an embodiment of concentrated peace. This gives birth to 2 special abilities within me: to discern and decide. These abilities allow me to resolve all challenges in my interactions with others and overcome obstacles in God's work. So now let's take all this nourishment and go into silence and experience together these specialities. Om Shanti. In silence, I, the soul, become an embodiment of concentrated peace. Baba has opened the intellect of the soul. There are immense treasures within this soul. This gives birth to the power to discern and the power to decide within me. In this awareness, I, the soul, can discern and decide which treasure of virtues to use, and at the right time. I, the soul, can resolve all challenges in my relationships to others and overcome obstacles in God's work. I sing for freedom. I sing for self-sovereignty. Discerning takes
wisdom, decide for liberty with power of turning, brings power of discerning. I choose a pure attitude, can't lose with gratitude. I am a holy swan. 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 Om Shanti.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sister Elizabeth. It was wonderful commentary and song. Thank you, thank you. So now it's time for our Avyakti journey. Welcome to Avyakti journey of Vyakti Parivar Chit, sharing from the heart that touches the heart. So would like to invite our dear brother Eric. Welcome.
Om Shanti, everyone. Good evening. Om Shanti, Mohini Didi. Thank you, Elizabeth. Every time, it's such a unique little journey, and I know how much work it takes to put all this together, effortless every day. So, congratulations. This is beautiful. So, chit chat from the heart. So, Mohini Didi, I have been listening and thinking about the quality of our thoughts, and you've been mentioning a week ago about introspection and introversion, and I think yesterday you were mentioning also how we don't stop thinking, we're always thinking, and we know everything starts with our thoughts. So I have a question for you, and first I'll make you appear with the love from the heart and use the magic. Here you are. Om Shanti. Good evening.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Always good to see you and to be with you. The thought I keep having for the past few weeks is actually to pay attention to the way I talk to myself or I think, addressing myself in my mind. And I feel I'm discovering a new, we've always been aware of how to talk to the self, but I find it's such a huge field of exploration, which is wonderful. For example, you mentioned that many thoughts come from sanskaras, but of course we must have thoughts that come from churning Murli or reflecting. And we heard a few months ago how Brahma Baba used to write before coming to Baba about himself, and he used to address himself as the king soul. So I'm wondering, what's your exploration, or how do you see this, the ability to talk to oneself? You know, before the cell phone existed, sometime on the road, I used to see people on a car next to me, and obviously they were talking loud to themselves, and I thought they're a little bit cuckoo. They're talking to themselves by themselves in the car. And then I realized I'm doing the same thing, but just internally. So how important is it, you think, to talk to yourself? And how do you do it? Or what's your What's your experience on that field?
When we are aiming to do something properly, that's where really the work begins, Every day I find that pilgrimage of silence, like before I always thought I'm a very silent person, but now because I'm paying attention to not even have, few extra thoughts even, because why to waste energy? And so that is like one of the realization comes, but then now creating this self-awareness is really more talking to one's own self. It's reminding myself, who am I for today? Who am I? And when I maintain that awareness, or I keep aim to maintain while doing actions also, and then my conversation with my own self is really coming through with that awareness. Okay, if I have to be under canopy of Baba, so I want to experience that canopy, and I want to use that canopy to see that I am, kind of protected for any kind of energy, so that I can be consistent into maintaining that elevated energy. So conversation is more like, as Brahma Baba used to say in the morning, I wake up and say, Baba, you have come to make me so elevated, Baba, like talking to Baba, and then reminding myself of what I am becoming. So this awareness, self-awareness, that's why I like this homework very much, to keep that awareness. And I talk to myself based on that, talk to Baba, then again reminding myself. I think reminding and realizations is more my personal conversations.
But do you find that sometimes you are talking a lot during the day because of phone calls, conversations, the whole evening? Do you find yourself sometimes in need to be by yourself and talk to yourself and stop talking to everybody else? But how does it work?
Not that, yes. Like this morning, I had really, really many different kinds of listening and talking. And so I just, instead of then again talking to myself, I like to really go into this quiet and still mind and, kind of feel very, very charged, again recharge myself. And it is of silence of intellect, silence of mind, both. Or also I change my, you know, I like to do some kind of maybe karma yoga, like keep myself very, very quiet internally. That's what I do when I have to talk a lot. And then after that, it's like battery is charged, and then one is ready for another task. So it's not necessarily talking to myself after that, but it is more quietness. But quietness is also you reminding yourself, right, that I need to be in silence. I have to recharge myself. And that's what I did today. After being in India for 2-3 hours in a meeting, reading Hindi Murli, then giving class to that. They had a bhakti for 31-year-old, and all senior zonal in charge were there. So I had inaugurated, then Brother Bridgman gave a very beautiful class, and then I also spoke. But after that, again, I was because telling them that what benefits I'm taking by doing homework and proper study. So some of the young ones were so inspired. They said, oh, we never thought we need to do that much effort. And, they were kind of enthusiastic because everyone is little bit loaded with the thoughts of administration and the situations. And then everyone has like 100, 200 classes, Gita Parshalas, sub-centers. So looking at Dadi Prakashmani and Dadi Janki, how light they remain. But I don't know how many of you know that both of them had a little table and a lamp, and Baba's Murli or World Renewal or some of the magazine there. So before sleeping, they will look at Murli, few points, and Dari said, in the midnight, if I wake up, I just take Murli. Otherwise, you say, oh, I'm not able to sleep, what's going on? And you can enter, but she just reads Murli, and then she will sleep back. So I thought, ultimately, this is what one has to do, is to keep remembering what Baba is saying, what Baba said, Baba said. So in a way, you are talking to yourself. In a way, you are giving to yourself, but from Baba, from knowledge, So that's what I am really kind of doing more and more.
And one aspect.
Having kept Murli by my side, I think I might have to start doing that.
Yeah, one aspect I found was intriguing for me was, if I talk to myself, my question to me was, who am I talking to? Am I talking to my ordinary self and looking at the Eric who, has been making effort during the day, or am I talking to my deeper self, which I want to know better, because maybe, do I know myself beyond being Eric? who am I talking to? Have you ever wondered who is within you and talking to that soul? We know you as Sister Mohini now, but there's so much more in that soul. Sometimes you must be wondering, hello, who is in me? Who is there?
Yeah, I think that I like angelic form very much. And sometimes when I'm, kind of very calm and introverted, little quiet, and then I see what this angel has, how far this angel is growing, and how to serve from that angelic form. So I connect a lot with angelic form and also divine form of my own self. And, some or other one's own specialties, like today, like if there is God's love when I'm speaking, and I have really pure bhavna for any person, that person will listen and that person will do that. But if I'm expecting and I'm not giving that love, things won't work. So like I'm talking to myself, and when I get these kind of elevated thoughts, I feel very good, because I feel that's the solution. Instead of always looking for solution, use God's love, have pure feelings for the soul, and say what you have to say, so that you are helping that soul to do what you're saying. Because sometimes we say and they can't do it. And then our expectation is not fulfilled. Then we say, oh, we thought you will do like that. But if I can give God's love, now this is conversation going on within the self to find a solution or find what is the right way. So I feel that one's true self emerges, because that's how I was given from Dadis. And I want to give same way. I want to do same way. And others around, they still using very gross ways to get things done, through commands, through corrections, through. So I talked to myself. I said, oh, I don't want to get into that. I want to still use our angelic ways and our specialties, So this way, one has to keep kind of talking to the self to allow those original virtues of the self to emerge, to take care of relationships or situations. So one feels very natural and very light also.
But do you find that the way you talk to others and the way you not correct others, but inspire them to see things differently, do you think it comes from the way you talk to yourself. In other words, if you are gentle with yourself, I think you might be more gentle with others, isn't it? Or
Yeah, because some people, the way they do efforts, let's say, are very intellectual, just on the level of intellect. So that's how they will be giving. No? And it's true, I always say that the way you sustain yourself or talk to yourself, same way you sustain others. No, it cannot be different. That's what I am, but also that's what I'm receiving from Baba. And that's what I give to others, you know. Some
all
people
these
think
thoughts,
gen,
all these
gen,
thoughts came from your our discussion last week when you were defining this word introversion, looking at the inner self, and it really kept me thinking, oh, okay, what inner self am I looking at? How am I looking? So I started to go a little bit, in many ways, looking at different mirrors, and I, try to see myself internally and says, am I hidden? Am I visible? Who am I seeing? Am I responding to myself? And I really had great, entertaining meetings with myself. They were more entertaining than some Zoom meetings I had during the week as well. So meeting myself became very entertaining. But I really was reflecting on how important it is to check the self. And Baba has been telling us so many times, do a chart, talk to yourself, check yourself, correct yourself. So I was thinking, what do you think will be the qualities we need to have when we do this introspection, this introversion? We give blessings to the selves, or how do we correct the self? How do we check the self? And yeah, I'm sure we should be nice to ourselves, but I'm curious about how you do it yourself.
because one has to feel very natural with the self, like you cannot pretend and act for a long time. You have to be what you are. And that is like you're emerging your true self. I'm saying true self in the sense of, like, let's say your specialty is compassion. So you know that when you have compassion, feelings of compassion, and you are compassionate, you are very comfortable. But someone asks you to say certain things and you just influence and you say it. After that, you won't be comfortable because that's not what you are. So what I all the time kind of allow that, let me be what I am, immerse those qualities and specialties and use them, then other advices, influences, methods, which are always around us. And it's really a task, but it's more introversion in a way too, that I look at myself as I am and I want to think and speak and act according to those qualities. And I feel, very good. I feel very happy about it. But as I said, because if there are influences and I haven't been, it's only when you are extrovert you take from outside. But if you are introverted, then you will set yourself into what you are as a being with your special qualities. And I think we all should be like that. So there is a lot of contentment and we are stable, we are happy, So talking to one's own self really should be emerging your true self as you are. Right?
Nice. And that's what I should
So
remember. Do you give yourself blessings sometimes?
today Baba is talking about more receiving blessings in a subtle way. And Baba said that becomes power. Yes, the blessing which Baba shares in the Murli, keep reminding myself and bless myself with that.
Mm.
It's not necessarily I have a wish and I bless myself, but I want to bless myself with Baba's blessings. And really, Baba's blessing, just 2 words, even if you remember whole day, and you constantly feel being blessed. Like in many Murlis, Baba said, what can I do? You all have to bless yourself. That we study properly or, so I think I take Baba's blessing from morning Murli. Since long time now, I had been really finding during day, I take few moments, try to feel blessed with those, what Baba is saying, to make it a reality. Not only Baba said this, but to feel those blessings. And I think that could be like blessing one's own self from Baba's blessings.
And I was thinking that I know I'm staying with that thought of talking with the self or conversing with the self, but you've been mentioning so many times in the past few months, that we need to really transform remembrance or yoga or even knowledge into our own qualities and virtues and powers. And I was wondering if just churning will be enough, or do I need to go one step further, which is in that conversation with myself, talking to me, or either like emerging that vision of my true self with that quality or that power, or sometimes blessing myself. And I tried this week, for example, telling myself, oh, you soul, you don't have any unnecessary thoughts anymore. So my true soul was laughing a little bit, thinking, yeah, you are giving me nice blessing. And I was wondering if it will be working. And I thought that telling me with my heart, big thoughts like that, saying, no, your mind now is not having any unnecessary thoughts. I really found it such a beautiful connection. I felt I was awakening Kumbhakarna. I don't know who was waking up in me, but someone sleeping was waking up finally, thinking, thank you for giving me that blessing. So I don't know if I'm going a bit crazy or if I'm okay.
No, this is what is called awareness. So it's same thing like when you are becoming aware, you are not that, but you are telling yourself. Baba always says, think you are an elevated soul, you are a special soul, you are a highest soul. When Baba says that, and you take it and then, give to yourself. And really, as we said, not only reflection, but then act like that awareness into your actions will bring some good qualities in us, no? So yeah, this is the right way to tell yourself. Take every day one awareness and then make it as a blessing for your own self. And that exactly has to be done.
Just to go back and maybe to finish with this, but the quality of our conversation with the self when we check the self. What do you think how we should approach self-checking, self-introspection, the way, how do you think we should do it?
Deeply within, if we notice from time to time that some of the old sanskars are emerging. It's not much, but whenever it emerges. So if you are attentive, you will immediately know that this is not coming from my original self. This is really somewhere from old sanskars. But also influences, it doesn't happen much, but if someone speaks in a particular way, behave in a particular way, and if I am even a little bit affected, not in a positive way, but how can this soul still have that sanskar? So I immediately know. I just don't want to think that. I want to give lot of good wishes, lot of love to that soul. That soul can change, So not allowing. So it's like when introspection is there, what I need to take in, not to take in, what I need even to be in presence of that person, what kind of awareness I should have, so all that happens in introspections, right?
But do you feel we need to have, Baba sometimes says, have mercy on yourself, just have, sometimes even the word self-love is a little bit strange because we wonder if we can really have self-love if we just have awareness of the self. So is that one area that you think we need to maybe improve sometimes, just to have that mercy on the self, or that compassion for the self, or forgiveness for the self?
I think self-awareness is the right method. And what you will find with awareness, the capacity and the power of the soul will increase. With mercy is a different relationship, or compassion. But self-awareness will create a lot of self-respect and self-trust. And I think right method is creating self-awareness. Any type, with Baba says. So many titles, and Baba gives us so many kinds of awareness to be created. And that awareness make you embodiment, And I need to be embodiment. So that won't happen just by any mercy or compassion, but only through self-awareness. So when I become that Sarup embodiment, whatever percentage, and it has to increase, and that's my final stage will be to be embodiment of that.
Well, I'll go back to my meetings with myself, and I will tell myself, we had a lovely chit chat. I will tell myself what you just told me, and I will tell him that we should improve our conversations. And I will try it on the tennis court as well, because I've been sometimes watching the big players, and there's one thing they do all the time is talking to themselves loud on the court. And sometimes it's very strange to see them playing, and they keep talking to themselves all the time. And I used to feel, very strange, why do they do that? And the other day I tried it. I didn't talk too loud, but just a little bit while after playing, and just verbalizing my thoughts to myself, I realized, you can talk to yourself a bit nicer, if you miss the shot or something. So I'll go to my inner tennis game, and I'll apply a few of your recommendations as well. And I'll let you know next week if I played better. Thank you, Mohini Didi. Really useful. I think we all need to reflect on the quality of our own conversation with the self, because it's part of how we awaken this perfect self, or this angelic self, or this deity self. I find we need to be very, very kind with ourselves and allow that awareness to be there. So thank you for your sharing, and I'll go back in my meetings.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Good night.
Yes, our Toli is coming, but before that, let's go through tomorrow's schedule. Tomorrow is Sunday, 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. Amrit Vela. Then meditation starts at 6 a.m., followed by Sakat Murli, followed by Bhog offering and Avik English Murli. Then evening, 6 p.m. Bhatti, followed by Spotlight Drishti sharing. Then silence meditation series, Avik the Journey. So that's tomorrow's schedule. And I was thinking, Brother Eric, it was, we are going deep and deep and deep, and it's very, very nice. Like, Avyakti Parivar means anybody who would like to become Avyakt, I think they have to go through here. What do you think?
Well, I think with extra Toli, maybe we'll definitely be able to reach the Avyakt stage. But the Toli is key, I think. Self-conversation, talk to Baba, talk to Mohini Didi, and get your Toli.
So, as you all know, that we were celebrating, or in the world they were celebrating Ganesh worshipping for 10 days. So Ganesh used to love laddu. Everywhere, every center made laddu. So here also they made big laddu. So Ganesh used to love laddu. And Baba used to call Jagdish Bhai Ganesh. So whenever he came, we made laddus. And, jokingly, so we had Toli of laddu and offered Bhog last Thursday also. So this is the laddu. I think you all can make laddu. Like you all make halwa is easy, laddu is also easy, right? Okay. Om Shanti. Yes, remember the last word, our Baba is with us, right? And good night. Om Shanti, everyone. Om Shanti.